All right, team, how are we doing this? Coach Dana Cavalea checking in with you with the Becoming a Champion show, where we are all about inspiration, motivation, and encouragement to move you along your high performance journey. And today I want to remind you of something, and that something is this: what you schedule gets done, and what you don't schedule oftentimes does not get done. Now, this doesn't mean be so rigid that you have no life and your schedule is just, is everything and nothing could ever get on that schedule. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying here is this: what you schedule gets done. And too often we don't schedule the things that we want to get done, and we allow other things to creep onto and into our schedule. And what it does is it takes away from us getting done the things that we need to get done. And what I find is that many of the leaders I coach, they give their time away. If the phone rings, they take the call. If the text dings, they take the text. If the email comes in, they take the email, and they just let that hijack their schedule. And ultimately that hijacks their productivity. And over time, it affects what it is that they get done, the projects they move forward. And it is a very, very dangerous thing. So if you show me somebody that's reactive and allows things to get in the way of them executing on their schedule, I'll show you somebody that's going to struggle with achievement of their goals in a timely fashion, or maybe struggle with their goals in totality, because they're constantly being taken off track. And there's a huge emotional cost and energy cost to be taken away from what it is that you want to do to tend to something else or somebody else's problems. And that is something we have to be very, very aware of. And I got to tell you, for me, it's very hard to get onto my schedule for the day if you're not on it. I make people schedule time with me, and it's not saying, hey, I'm better than you, or, I'm an elitist in any way, but it's saying, listen, I have an agenda. I have a plan. I go into every week with a plan. I have these cards that I write my week's plan on, and I'm here to execute. And because I execute hour over hour, I get a tremendous amount done, more than most people, but I do so without interruptions. And I build my week. I structure my week accordingly, and I structure my days accordingly. And the way I build out my week is simple. I say, how much time do I need to think, to unwind, to do personal things like train physically, to read, to plan and develop and strategize? Okay, that's what I need there. When am I at my best? Okay, this time to this time. And everything is sequenced and everything is compartmentalized. So for me, over the summer, I had a realization. I said, I want to take Fridays as a day to focus on what we're doing going forward. And I want to take part of Friday to get stuff done, like accounting and other things that I need to do in order to move a business forward, and many of the other projects and entities that I have forward. So I'm not going to work on Fridays, no coaching sessions on Fridays. And then that became also a limited schedule on Mondays. I don't want to hit the ground running during the week and have so much to do. I like to make Monday a day of organization, a day of gather, a day of prep, and a day to maybe set up my week. But then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's when I start coaching. The other rule I have is I don't start my day, professional day, till 11 o'clock. So I don't take a session until 11. I don't take calls until 11. Now on Mondays, that's my exception every other week, but I oftentimes wrap up by about 4 or 5 o'clock. So I work from 11 to 4, 11 to 5. That's it. Before 11, I'm at the gym training. That's my thing. Monday through Friday, that's where I go. So when you think about my week, Monday's planning and prep, Friday's planning and prep, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday's coaching every day, 11 to 4, 11 to 5. That's it. Weekends, no clients, no sessions, no coaching over the weekend. Recover, focus on some other things, fun activities, and then do it again. But every part of my day is structured around these goals that I have on this card of what I want to achieve during the week. And then I use a Google Calendar and I have all of my calls that I need to make. It's all right there. So it's the best way to do it because there is no reactivity. And in the past, when I was highly reactive, I was very, very, very frustrated because I was not as productive as I wanted to be. And I said, what the hell is causing this? And what's causing it was I was giving my time away, giving my energy away, giving my focus away. And you can't become a champion without focus, and you can't become a champion without a plan. So when I started planning and focusing on that plan and building time constraints and scheduling everything, I started to win more than I had ever won in my life. And that's what I teach. That's what I teach clients through coaching. We look at your schedule. What do you have going on? What's happening here? What do you mean you don't have any time? We all have the same amount of time. Some people take their time and build billion-dollar companies. Other people take their time and make $30,000 a year. Whatever it is, we have to use time efficiently and effectively. That's what I want you to do. That's what I teach. So when I coach people, it's all about getting max value out of their time and out of their energy and making sure they have enough time to recover. The other thing I found through coaching is this. Oftentimes people are spending too much time at work, but they're not doing anything. They're not doing activities or hyper-focused on activities that move the needle forward. They're focusing on really these low-budget activities like just checking emails and responding to things and people on their phone, but they're not driving anything. They're not putting nails into the wood and banging them all the way through. That's a waste of time. So we want to be focused on growth. We want to be focusing on moving the needle, but we're going to own our schedule. We're going to put up some blocks as to how we effectively work best, you, me as individuals. And we're going to allow others to adapt to that. Because if you're not at your best, what are you? You're probably at your worst. And if you're at your worst, what good are you? So I wanted to talk about this today because I think it's very, very important to take reactivity out of your life. There's always going to be an element of it because life is dynamic. But if we could reduce the amount of reactivity we have in our life and instead go with something that's more planned and more structured, not to the point where we're so rigid that we can't adapt, but where we own our time the best we can, the game's going to change. I promise that. So that's my message today. It's a short one today, but it's a powerful one. I want you to, after you listen to this and after you watch this, I want you to sit back with a notebook and a pad, and I want you to think about your time. I want you to have your schedule out in front of you and say, where am I wasting time? When do my day start? Does it start at the same time every day? Does it end at the same time? When would I like it to start? When would I like it to end? And then start building from there. And now that many are working from home, you have the opportunity to do this more so than ever. So take advantage of it. And I'm telling you, you're going to see your productivity go through the roof. So this is Coach Dana Cavalea, simple lesson on time, boundaries, and setting up your schedule to win. So if you enjoyed it, make sure you share it, send it to a coworker, send it to a teammate, and let's go out and be champions together. And for those of you that aren't on the daily blog, head on over to danacavalea.com, get on that daily blog. Every morning, you'll get a newsletter sent to your email. It'll take about 30 seconds to 60 seconds. I'll tune you up, give you some coaching, and you'll be on your way with a great lesson for the week. And lastly, some exciting news. My new book, Habits of a Champion Team, is on pre-order at danacavalea.com. I'm sending out signed copies, and the launch date is set for right around November 15th. So make sure you get your copy, pre-order it. You'll be one of the first to have it signed. And it's going to be a great read. I put a lot of heart and soul into it. And it's a leadership field guide. It's a book, but it's a book that you can use. It's practical, not filled with theory, just practical stuff. And you're going to really enjoy some of those lessons. They're powerful and they're game changing. So that's what I have. Habits of a Champion Team coming November, but it's also available right now through pre-order on danacavalea.com. I'll be seeing you next week. Go out and win today. Go out and win today. See ya.